A very good afternoon, live here from Khaleej Times HQ, the first of our live broadcast on the encounter. India versus Pakistan, the big day and a big moment in everyone's agenda, you could say. Constance and I, Abdul Karim, have been giving you a bit of an update in every game so far, and we've enjoyed it, but today's a big day.
We've enjoyed it,
yeah.
But you can tell by the attire that we both have today. Of course, I've in my official attire because I've got to go out. But just have a look at Abdul. I think, patriotism all the way. Me, I've managed my cap, and of course, I've got the India colours right in front of me. So I think that tells you the story. How palpable the excitement and the pressure and the tension that a Pakistan v India encounter can bring to even a discussion like this.
Exactly.
So I think let's get on with it.
Let's get on with it. So exciting times indeed. Lots of people were looking forward to this encounter. Lots of people have lots to say about what Pakistan should do, what India should do. So let's start with India so far. We know that Vijay Shankar has come in instead of Shikhar Dhawan, and KL Rahul is going to be opening today. So that's going to be an interesting matchup, isn't it?
Yes, absolutely. I think we were looking forward to see who would be in. But more importantly, and I think most importantly, as we read, is that the weather is staying put at the moment. I mean, there are showers predicted later, but as we speak, I think it looks like we're on schedule for a toss. So
yes,
I hope that doesn't change. And going back to Abdul's question, yes, the combination, there was some discussion on Mohammad Shami probably making the cut, just because of the fact that he's got pace and bounce, so maybe getting a nod ahead of Bumrah. We'll only know that once the toss happens, but interesting to see what kind of combination India goes ahead with. And of course, the toss will definitely matter.
Toss will definitely matter. I think what we need to see in Pakistan, and some word from the ground, is that Waqar Yunus had said to Mohammad Amir, "Sukha hai," so the pitch is expected to be dry, and if that's the case, spin might be in contention today. So we might see Shadab Khan return. Probably Imad Wasim as well, as he's had very important games leading up to it. He has been an instrumental force in the side, but was dropped due to bad form. So now let's see if he has a go today. What the other people are saying on the ground, that they might play 4 quicks, based on the warm-ups that were happening. Shaheen Afridi
probably not getting a game.
Shouldn't get a game, that's what we think as well. But apparently he is one of the players warming up quite heavily, so he might get a chance. A lot of talk within Pakistan analysis was, let's give Hasnain a go, because he's the 145 kilometer pace bowler. He might do some damage, he might do some benefit for the
Whether they can blood him for this game remains to be seen.
True, and a lot of people saying, because he's new, raw talent, it's maybe not the best of all ideas.
A baptism by fire?
Yeah, exactly. Yes. You never know. But most importantly, it is a game happening, which is very important. And let's hear your thoughts.
In fact, and I'd like to see Abdul. The discussion that we should have is who bats first, because historically India have batted first.
Yes.
Only one game that they've chased apparently, and won against Pakistan in ICC World Cup tournament.
Yeah.
Pakistan, I think, are better off batting first.
Yes.
So should Pakistan win the toss, I'd like to see whether they'll look at the weather and say let's chase, or whether they'll go with their kind of comfortable kind of that they want to bat first.
That's very true.
That'd be interesting.
That'd be very interesting. So let's hear your thoughts. What should happen? Pakistan winning the toss, batting first or bowling first?
Because Duckworth Lewis does come into play. I suppose
does.
With the rain, and I'm sure.
With the rain, because in my opinion, I think they should bowl first so that they can sort of get used to the target that India is going to put forward. And then when rain showers come, they'll know roughly if they should accelerate at the very beginning, play a T20 game.
Would that be playing into India's hand? Because India is always better putting up a total. I don't know. I mean, who's to say? But
Pakistan is not a very good chaser. So we saw that against Australia. They panicked a little bit after a quick fall of wickets. But we've seen that in the previous World Cup where Pakistan batted first, the nerves, the
Let's have a bit of humor here. Maybe there's no toss and they say, listen, what are you good at, Soki? You want to bat? You
bat first. Yeah, play rock, paper, scissors. That can be ideal. Mohammad Zahid says, hope to watch a good cricket. Sohail Sham says, rain. Saqib says, Shabab. Okay, very nice. Hope rain doesn't spoil the match. Pakistan's in the bud. Lots of people coming in.
Some excellent comments that we're receiving.
Yes, exactly. So I can see lots of people saying, Tiger, India win. Okay. Wow. Okay, so now, originally from Pakistan, Constance from India. Let's see your predictions. Who's going to win this encounter?
We've had such interesting discussions, as the World Cup has begun, and it's strange that today I mean, both of us know which team we're going to back, right? There are times where we actually sat on the same side. Yes. There are times where we've actually not agreed on who's going to win. But today, no prizes for guessing. I think the color says it all.
Yes, so I think this could be Pakistan's year. They said Naya Pakistan and Imran Khan. Yes, historically, if you look at it, 6-0 stands the head-to-head in World Cups.
Yeah.
India's
and 500 million, close to 500 million people watching this game.
Yes.
Spare a thought for that.
I'd say, a billion eyes to be glued onto the screen. And Khaleej Times is going to go down to Dubai's neighborhoods and actually soak in the atmosphere and see how people here, because it's a working day. And so let us know if you are a UAE resident and how you're watching the game. Did you take a day off or did you come to work?
Some other interesting stat that I read through was that Steve Alberdi had mentioned that when the fixtures for this game was announced, they had some 400,000 applications for tickets, which would fill Wembley 4 times over.
Exactly.
So that tells you the magnitude of this clash, and I'm sure I don't know how many of you are sitting at home and watching this.
Yeah, exactly.
Following the score. I mean, it's going to be exciting. I just hope weather doesn't play spoil sport.
True, because
so for a moment, why don't I talk about Pakistan?
Okay.
Let me talk about the good that I think of Pakistan. Okay. Yes. For a moment, the top 3, of course, are important because they average over 50. I mean, that's a good stat to go with because Babar Azam, Fakhar Zaman, Imam al-Haq, all good batsmen. So should they fire, I think Pakistan should start off well. Of course, Pakistan has got Mohammad Ahmed and Wahab Riaz both in good form. So as an Indian, I'd be wary of that. And of course, they haven't. They could have done better, but an India v Pakistan clash. Never know. Wahab Riaz could come into his element. Mohammad Ahmed always a threat at the top. So that's the good that I want to mention about the fielding. I just hope Pakistan fielding, holds up today. They can't afford to drop any catches, to be honest, because the fielding should actually step up. Because in a crunch game like this, a missed catch. We'd seen it the last time in the Champions Trophy when Fakhar Zaman was dropped. It could be so decisive. So I just hope that they do the things right. As an Indian, I hope India does all the things right. But these are the good things that I want to talk about Pakistan. What about you?
I think with Pakistan, they've got a chance this time round. They've been cornered so far in the World Cup. Yes, they haven't been on the best performance. I think most Indian fans also expect Pakistan to do well because the previous 2 encounters that we saw in the Asia Cup were very one-sided affairs. I think the game needs to live up to the hype that everyone gets really excited about. We used to see it back in the 90s. And since the last 2 decades, India has always had the upper hand when it comes to coming down onto the ground. But it is a game of pressure. Shikhar Dhawan is out of the side, which is one advantage Pakistan has.
I do agree.
Because he has the ability to walk away with the game from the early overs. You give him some space, he's the David Warner, skinnier version of David Warner, but very mentally very strong as well. But that is one advantage they have. KL Rahul, who's now been so used to playing lower down the order, is going to open. He's a terrific batsman, plays really well as an opener as well, but this is uneven surface for him because they had a rain washout game against New Zealand, so the match form and match position is a little bit
weak. Then again, I think for players like KL Rahul and even Vijay Shankar is making his debut, I think it's the pressure that will matter because these are newbies that are coming onto a World Cup stage. India v Pakistan couldn't get tougher than this. I mean, so how they handle the pressure is going to be extremely important in a match like this.
Exactly.
And some new comments coming in.
Some new comments coming in, people having a go at each other. This is not the purpose of the game. See, what sports does is brings people together, come on platform, have its common dialogue, and that's the main aspect. And this is one of the reasons Khaleej Times is actually going down to the streets, not to instigate sort of debate. It's more, yes, to have a debate on which team is better. Of course, you got to support your side, but in the end, India and Pakistan, they value their cricket so much that their national pride gets attached to it. They hold their place, even though it's actually a game of sport, technically. Playing on the pitch, if you're good on the pitch, you win. If you're bad on the pitch, you lose. Off you go. That's it. That's what happens. There's no sort of conflict. Yes, bragging rights are there, which has to be there. But if you think about the rest of the world, when they look at cricket, they say, yeah, it's a sport. Okay, England lost to Australia. Okay, great, well done. has to happen, okay? But
I think,
here it is. I think it's a common language, both the teams.
Absolutely.
Exactly, so they love the sport.
And Virat Kohli was trying to play down,
The hype.
the hype about the whole thing when he said, yes, it's just another game, because in fact it is. Of course, yes, the emotion is, you can't take away the emotion and the pressure from both the countries. But yes, in the context of the World Cup, it is just 2 points which you're actually fighting for, and that doesn't take you out of the World Cup. You could still be meeting in a final for all we know.
You never know. You could also shake hands and share the points today.
You
never know.
Never know.
But if Pakistan, look, on paper, India is a much stronger side. They've got a better form, they've got better technique, better mentally strong. They've come back from the IPL. They've had
10 out of 12 series that they've won.
10 out of 12 series, and yes, they've got a good momentum of ODI cricket. Pakistan, on the other hand, are very T20 specialists now. They love to play immediate, quick reaction. Let's get the 5 runs and let's run away with the game. ODIs, they've been very laid back with it. So it's going to come down to captaincy and Sarfaraz Ahmad, how he takes and steers his side, saying, look, if you're losing wickets, take it easy, doesn't matter. I think this is what he did wrong in the previous encounter against Hassan Ali, who loves to play explosive cricket. He could have gone down to the other end saying, look, we're literally 5 and over or 6 and over to beat Australia. Yeah, we've got it. Let's relax, chill out a bit. But then he didn't do that. He let Wahab Riaz take the commanding position. But you really, as a captain, you should go over to the other side and control things. Lots of flags coming through. Some people said, one person said, whomever win, both of you rock, says Jacob Amarpu. Very good. Good to see some positive comments there. One person said that they want Pakistan to bat first, which is really interesting to see. That it is true. Lots of people would be predicting that if its surface allows it, Pakistan should bat first, because that's what happened in Champions Trophy. They added 300 plus runs in the final, and that put pressure, a little bit of a pressure on India. Some tight bowling can assist you, but it's going to be a very interesting encounter. We hope that the good Pakistan turns up on the pitch, not the Pakistan that turned up against West Indies, because if that happens, rain will be out of the equation. The match. And
if I could touch your phone, I've never seen the comment section look as colourful as this. I've seen flags and emoticons and what have you.
Exactly.
So keep doing it, guys. I think we're really enjoying it. It's fabulous.
Definitely enjoying it. Samir Inayat says, Inshallah Pakistan jeetega. They're saying hopefully Pakistan will win. It's going to be a very interesting game. I think what we need to see is Pakistan to turn up with a positive mentality. If they're taking the bowling, they need quick wickets. If you don't get quick wickets, India can run away with the game very easily, and that puts pressure on the batting unit. If they bat first, they need to see off the new ball, because that's where Pakistan struggles, especially Mamul Haq. Yes, he's talented. Yes, Fakhar Zaman's also very talented, but they're both very iffy.
And one of them needs to go on to make a big one.
True.
Because they've got to finish off. And for that matter, even Babar Azam has been guilty of 30s and 40s and 50s and not taking it to the end.
Exactly.
So, in favour of Pakistan, that's what he needs to do. And from an Indian perspective, I think the opening stand will be vital, because Shikhar Dhawan is not in question anymore. And Rahul has stepped up. Big job on Vijay Shankar as well, because blooded in at number 4. I think that's a big mantle to carry in a World Cup clash. Huge mantle, in my opinion. So I think the start will be very vital. If India bats, even if they're batting first or even if they're chasing, I think the start will be vital. Should India put on a good opening stand without losing any wickets, not scoring runs, then the middle order will come to play.
Exactly. Well, if, for example, if India wins the game, Pakistani fans will be dejected. They'll say they're staring at the exit door and they're leaving the World Cup. Well, it's going to get very difficult if that happens. And it's not impossible, because certain games, if they beat South Africa with a big margin, beat Bangladesh with a huge margin, and even Afghanistan, then they could be, but the net run rate is what Sarfaraz needs to be mindful of as well, because should they win today, confidence is going to be elevated. But if they don't maintain the net run rate later on against other games, then they're going to be not very elevated. They'll be staring down the barrel. They'll be very upset. They won't be too motivated for the other series to come. Mickey Arthur put it right. He said the best of the Pakistan hasn't turned up yet, but if they want to be real heroes, this is the game that they have to go for. And for Pakistan, I would say they should play 3 paces. Yes, they want to go with the fourth pacer, maybe give Hasnain a go, but Shaheen Afridi, tried and tested, don't go with him again.
As you mentioned, Waqar mentioned that it's dry, Sukha, so I thought there would be a spinner.
There's a speculation as well,
okay.
so that's...
maybe Shadab gets a game, let's see.
Shadab Khan needs to get a game. That's just what most analysts have been saying. He's your Shane Warne. He's your guy, the go-to guy to slow the pace of runs, because what Indian batsmen do, the timing is so perfect, they middle the ball so well. So if you give a Wahab pace, and if the ball isn't nipping or moving around, then you're in all sorts of trouble. And one thing that I've observed in the Pakistan lineup, the back area, the third man and the region there behind the wicketkeeper tends to be less guarded. The amount of runs that have been scored, top side edge, gone over the boundary, or one bounce and four, inside edge, those run leakages, they need to be plugged, and you need to have your fielders in a perfect position that they can stop this, because this is where it doesn't matter how the runs come, they've got to come in anyway. And
there's another point, in fact, which we didn't discuss, Abdul, and that is the average score at the Old Trafford at Lancashire has been around 250. So we're not potentially looking at a very high scoring game.
Yes.
Does that mean the bowlers will come into play? Because
the bowlers will definitely come into play.
I mean, by the stats, it says that it's 260 has been the average. Yeah. All the county games that have taken place at Old Trafford in the past 6 months have been around 250 odd.
Very good.
So I think that brings the bowlers into,
bowlers into
more than the batters.
And obviously because it's been raining, and Manchester had this issue whether the drainage system is going to help them, whether they'll be able to dry the outfield more, because they have to learn from subcontinent Sri Lanka, where they have torrential downpours and they can still continue the game. Old Trafford always struggle with this, so slower outfield is one of the contributing factors. And let's not forget, Lancashire or Old Trafford gave birth to James Anderson, and you know how James Anderson was.
There's a pavilion in his. There's a stand
in his name, and in his memory as well, and paying tribute to what the contribution he's done. But the toss is going to be happening anytime soon.
Some fantastic emoticons still coming through.
Fantastic reviews coming through, and it is a game that most of us will be looking forward to. Pakistan, in my opinion, has to bowl first and be mindful of the DL method. If India scores 250, 260, it is chaseable. And if they come back and play the second innings, Fakhar Zaman needs to calm down. He doesn't need to hit every single ball each way. One point that Fakhar Zaman and Asif Ali will enjoy, in Lancashire, the straight boundaries are the shortest boundaries.
Do you think Asif Ali would be in for this game?
He will be. They will need the firepower. And if he isn't, then potentially Imad Wasim in his way to give the spin variation and some stability.
Yeah, I'd be interested to see who makes the cut, really.
It will be interesting to see, but so far the Waqar Yunus was overheard saying Sukha hai, so dry pitch. Which think
means maybe
Imad Wasim, spinners should come into play, but sometimes Sarfaraz has had this tendency to read the pitch completely the opposite way and send in a team at full paces.
We haven't said a word about the Indian spinners here, so I think what about Chahal and both Kuldeep Yadav?
They can trouble the Pakistani batsmen. Yes, Asian teams are known to play spin well, but spin means pace off the pitch, off the bat, and off the pitch as well. So the run flow, Pakistan tends to struggle.
And given the average was just around, and he said Sukha hai, so I'm assuming they will come into play.
They will come into play, and usually, yes, Shoaib Malik plays really well with the spin, but it's the pressure, it's the atmosphere, it's the national anthem. From the get-go of the national anthems, there's nerves within the fans. Then there's, especially when the Indian national anthem goes on, Jaya Hai, Jaya Hai. You can see Dhoni's face enlightened, and everyone getting very excited about it for sure. And this is lots of adverts have been taking place, and lots of adverts have been circulating, and that's been funny. Lots of people saying, "Let's get away from the jingoism." But the thing is, guys, let it be. It's our form of banter. That's what the Western world forgets. That it's just our way.
An interesting comment: dry underneath. There's a pitch report that says dry underneath, but on top there's a hint of moisture. Get through the new ball, and both teams can capitalize, says Michael Clark.
Yeah,
both sides will look to bowl with an eye on the weather, possibly.
Exactly, so that's what it is. Duckworth-Lewis method.
Just for your information.
Quick recap on yesterday's game. It was fairly one-sided. Australia versus Sri Lanka. Sri Lanka had a chance to come through.
They were in it for some time when Kusal Mendes was in. Yeah. I think because of the way he plays, just like Sanat Jayasuriya did. They looked like they were in the hunt, and even the captain played a good knock.
He did.
Unfortunate to be falling 3 short of the century.
Yeah.
But then they just crumbled after that, just like a pack of cards.
It's pressure. Yeah, that's what Pakistan needs to be mindful of. They rely so much on Imam ul-Haq to get a good outing. Fakhar Zaman has been the dependable opener ever since the Champions Trophy win. They need to be careful when there's a tight period. Relax, take it easy, take your singles, and you have the rotation of strikers so important, which is what Pakistan lacks at most times. But yes, that's what's been going on. And India, any tips from your side?
When India are chasing, I just think that they can chase on any total should they be chasing. It's just the opening start. I think the first half, if they get through without losing any wickets, then they are up. Pakistan has a hard day on the field. So but if Pakistan grabs quick wickets, at the top, then I think it'll be a good contest.
My prediction in the end, we would say, if we were to do a full prediction on who's going to win, my prediction would be, and I've been quite a wild guesser in this, I think Pakistan has a little bit of an edge. They'll come back very strongly. There will be moments where the game is shaking either way, but I think most Indian fans will also like to see a stronger Pakistan unit come on the pitch. I think Mohammad Amer will have lots to say. Wahab Riaz can get a few quick wickets, because in this World Cup, what we've seen so far, a pace attack of 140 above has troubled the batsmen because uneven bounce. I can see Pakistan coming back in a refreshed manner that we saw them in the Champions Trophy final, overwhelmed India. So that's going to be an interesting encounter. Your side?
You can see this.
Yeah,
you can
see
this.
that.
So there's no way I can say anything else, guys. It has to be. I
big.
have to back India, and obviously on the back of how they've performed in the tournament. Of course, patriotism aside, but yes, for the way they've played the first two games, I have to say that they probably hold the edge because of the fact that they have done nothing wrong. They could probably only get better. This could be probably one more step towards the title. They're potentially favourites, and of course, a slight hiccup in the form of Dhawan. It's a jolt actually. But who knows? I mean, maybe KL Rahul steps up to the plate and this could be his day. So I just think India has got too much of firepower, and also on the back of the kind of run up to the games that they have, and plus the strength that they have on the pitch, the fielding, the batting, the bowling. I think it's powerful. If they execute, yes, of course, that's to be seen. But yes, I have to back India. This all says that. So all you Indian guys, come on, key in your comments. Let's say whether you agree with me. I'm sure you will. And let's hope the viewership reaches at least about 500 million to be precise.
Yeah.
So yeah, it's time for the toss. I think is it?
Because Pakistan have opted to bowl, and Shadab Khan and Imad Wasim are making a comeback, which is good. So in Pakistan has won the toss, elected to bowl first. And it's what I would have suggested them to do had I been in the coaching panel or the expert panel, if they would have put me anywhere. Even a water boy, I would have definitely said to them, look guys, you need to bowl first, because that's your ace. Yes, India has the batting as their trump card, but it's all about...
But they're chasing now, I think that they will be chasing, so they've got to be mindful of that. They haven't been too good chasers, so let's hope.
Early wickets is the key. Make use of the moisture, make use of the conditions, make sure that you restrict them to a manageable total, and then rely on your batsmen to pull it through. And Imad Wasim and Shadab Khan coming back, both can bat, both can bowl, very important. I think that's what they were missing, a fifth bowler and someone who can restrict runs. Shaheen Afridi was leaking too many runs. If he's not playing, I'm not too sure what the sides are. It will be better if they have the side. India is playing with just
one change. India is just one change.
India is one change. Pakistan has they've not announced the squad yet.
So I think maybe Asif would miss out if Imad Wasim
by the looks of things as well. So anyways guys, Khaleej Times is on the ground in Dubai, so if you are in the neighbourhoods of Dubai and anywhere, let us know and we'll come down and cover your excitement of the game. And that's it for Khaleej Times toss and match report. We'll be heading down to some venues. All the very best to both the teams, all the very best to India.
All the very best to you, Abdul.
We're like an MOU signing ceremony over here. There we go. Excellent. Look forward to this game. Stay tuned to KhaleejTimes.com.